taxi. What do we have here now? Do you want to ride it out? Hey, you guys. I just wanted to come on live real quick to hear what you guys thought about the interview. I was really happy. Me and Ali were supposed to do an interview yesterday. Unfortunately, she was busy with the children. As you guys know, she has two kids and two young kids. And then we were supposed to do it today a bit earlier, but then I was shopping with my wife. I didn't get home in time because my wife loves shopping. So we were taking our time, and she's feeling sick today. She caught a cold. So I wanted to kind of spend more time with her. What's up, H-Town Scott? How's it going, man? But Ali was uh, Ali was nice, and she was understanding of the fact that I was not ready when she was ready, and she gave me another time today, and we were able to get the interview done. So I just wanted to see for the people who were there and or who got a chance to listen to the interview with Ali. I want to know what did you guys think? What's up, C Stay? How's it going, man? I hope you're doing good. I hope you're staying blessed. I'm glad to hear it, H Town Scott. I'm glad to hear it. I was just thinking to myself because I was talking to Ali for a while after the interview. We were going back and forth, sending each other messages, and there was one thing that she sent me, maybe, or something she shared on her stories, I think, that was speaking on how gangstalking can be viewed as a blessing. And of course, when you're going through something negative, as far as gangstalking goes, when you're going through something specifically, and people tell you, no, no, this is a positive, you're just like, man, shut up. This is a positive. Shut your ass up. I mean, I don't know if you feel that way. I sure feel that way when people try to tell me like, no, no, this is positive. You can turn this into a positive. I'm like, be quiet, man. You have no idea what I'm going through. But sorry about that. One thing I will say is the way that it has been turned into a positive for me is that a lot of the members of my family have turned on me. And of course, I don't see it as a positive. It's a negative thing, but very, very important. Sorry, I'm just gonna put somebody in timeout. Um, Something very important is it revealed the demons within my family, or the people within my family who are basically who have given in to the demons games, if you will. And yeah, I mean, I see it as a blessing because it's like, well, what if I had gotten deeper into a relationship with these people who are family, right? What if I opened up a business with them? What if I bought property with these people? What if sorry, I'm noticing my beard is all messed up. What if I had, what if I had gotten into a closer relationship with these people where they could really hurt me, you know? So revealing, of course, finding out that some members of your family are willing to participate into a satanic ritual is nothing to be happy about. But finding out about it before our relationship could get close enough that it could really hurt me, how is that not a blessing? You know what I mean? So I don't want to, you know, patronize anyone by saying, no, that this is a blessing, this awful thing that you're going through, this crazy, awful thing that you are going through that's happening to you, your family turning on you. It's a positive thing, you know? It's not a positive thing. But when you look at it that way, when you tell yourself, God has revealed the demons within my bloodline, how is that not positive? How could that possibly not be positive? Right? Anyways, still coping the same, you know. Yeah, man. I hear you, C-Stay. You got this, bro. You got this. You got this. You don't know beans. Hello and God bless. God bless you as well. Amen. I used to think I wasn't good enough for my family, but turns out I wasn't bad. That's like a really great way to view it. Um, that's really a great way, a great spin on it, you know. Donovan Bailey. Donovan Bailey. That's a great name. I don't know if that's your real name. I'm guessing you're Jamaican, but that's a great name, Donovan Bailey. But Donovan Bailey is saying that's an opportunity to break the curse. It really is. It truly is. It truly is. It's an opportunity to break the curse, and it's an opportunity to stay away from it as much as you can. You know, a lot of us, because think about it, right? I mean, when I think of it, I have a really huge family, huge family, right? I never would have guessed the amount of my family members that are not just comfortable, but happy to participate in a satanic humiliation ritual, in a satanic destruction of a person. So the fact that all of them have revealed themselves at the same time, amazing. That's truly a blessing. No matter how you look at it, the fact that they have been revealed, that's a blessing. So, hey Brendan, how's it going? Um, which parents' genes are said to have the strongest influence on IQ of offspring? Which scores lowest? What? What an unintelligent comment. They're happy to participate. Almost seems they've been waiting for her. Yeah, yeah. You know, I repeat this often, but one of my cousins who is participating in this and is really happy to participate. I mean, he's psyched. He's super psyched to participate in this. But one of them has been who is participating in this has been obsessed with secret societies for a really long time. I remember being maybe 10 or 11 and he would have these long talks with me, with some of our other cousins, you know, late night conversations where he would speak of secret societies and about how secret societies have technology that we have no idea of, you know, no idea about, and that their technology is advanced 30 years into the future, right? And I mean, if I'm thinking to myself, if I was 10, he was probably 15, 16, something like that. And he's talking about that, right? And I mean, I was definitely around 10 when he said that. And he's about 6 years older than me. But it is very interesting to think about that he was obsessed with secret societies such as Skull and Bones, things of that nature, all these secret societies that presidents such as George W. Bush, the junior, was a part of. And he was also talking about how they have technology that is beyond anything we could dream of. And they're at least 30 years ahead of us. By the time that we get the technology that they've been using, it's almost 30 years old. They make it seem like, and this is him talking, but he said they make it seem like this technology just came out, but they've been using it for decades. And yeah, nowadays, I would say he's basically the one cousin in my family who is the most psyched about joining in on this satanic ritual, which is really funny because he's a Christian. Back then, when I was not a believer, we had a short conversation about him being a believer, which is really funny because the conversation we had was because I was dealing with gang stalking and I was looking for answers. I didn't understand what was going on. I didn't know what gang stalking was at the time, to be honest with you guys. But I went to his house and I basically explained to him, hey, I think my computer is hacked. And there are some people that are messing with me, messing with my life. And I went to him for help. I mean, this is my cousin. This is how, the type of relationship we had. He's my big cousin. So of course I'm gonna go to him. And I don't think he was participating in it back then. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. Doesn't really matter. But I don't think he was. And he would offer me messages of, you know, everything's gonna be okay. I don't think you're hacked, it's in your head, things of that nature. You know, you might be dealing with some mental stuff. And this person who I went to for help, comfort, support is now participating in my gang stalking, and he's really happy to. I mean, he's doing the whole gaslighting thing, right? Like pretending he's not in on it. Um, you know, telling me you can come to me for help, and I'm like, buddy, you did directed conversation with me like a bunch of times, a lot. You know, I'm not the smartest cookie, or the expression I like to use is I'm not the sharpest cookie in the toolbox, but I'm not stupid, you know. But I just think it's funny how he was always. I had never heard of secret societies before he spoke of them, and I was 10. I'm 39. This was 29 years ago, you know? And he was just talking about secret societies and how, they have access to technologies, like the government has access to technologies we will only see in 30 years, and they hold secrets. And he was talking about these societies like they're a good thing. And he's a Christian. I wonder if he knows he's going to hell, or if he thinks he's not. I mean, I don't think I don't really wonder, to be honest with you. I know he doesn't think he is. I think he believes that he's a good guy. He thinks I'm a bad guy and I deserve what's happening to me, more than likely. Or maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't even think like that. Um, I do think it's interesting to behave like Cain in the Bible and believe that you're going to heaven, or that you're acting in accordance with, you know, the Holy Father's wishes. Something to chew on, I guess. I don't know. It makes me think a lot because he's not an idiot. I don't think he's an idiot. Perhaps he is. He's acting like one, but it does make me think, like, what do you think is gonna happen to you? You think you're gonna get away with this? Like this is gonna be okay? How are you going to explain this? I'm so sorry, Tarai, your message was retracted for some reason. I'm not seeing it. Um, it's mind games. Those people thrive on controlling others, seeing others suffering and enjoy their project. Yeah, yeah. A lot of the people who participate in this are dealing with narcissistic personality disorder. So this is right up their alley. I mean, they're really happy to participate in this. It brings them fleeting joy to inflict pain on others. And of course, there is the whole aspect of monetary compensation as well. So, you know, I've been learning about narcissistic personality disorder for a long time. And I do believe that in due time, if I had interacted with my family after learning about narcissistic personality disorder, had I interacted with them on a regular basis, the way we did before COVID, I probably would have noticed these traits in them because I couldn't possibly notice them before. I wasn't even looking for them and I wouldn't know what to look for. But I probably would have noticed. However, this program is like the ultimate revealer. So, do you know much about bipolar schizo traits? No. You look like this guy. Hold on, let me just there you go. Much better. Many are hiding in church. That's so true. That's so true. I often say that church leaders are usually not good people. Any leaders, honestly, any leader is usually not a good person. Usually, not always, but usually. Because if you are in a position of power, it means that you have been seeking a position of power. It's very rare that you'll end up in a position of power without seeking it and fighting for it. So, you know, if you end up in a position of power, it's usually because you're willing to do some things that others are not willing to do. You're willing to lie much more. You're a better liar than other people, and you're willing to put down others in a way that they're not willing to do, and you're willing to do it in a meticulous enough way that you got away with it. If you're in a position of power, it usually means that you really want power, you want status, and the people who want these things are usually the worst people to have it. So, the story says, "What are you in a war against?" Nothing. I like your haircut. Thanks. Covert narcissists are really worrisome. Yeah, I call covert narcissists baby psychopaths. Anna, Melville has never been here before. All these people, whether it be Caleb, Barry, Melville, or Miss Tori, these are perps. These people are not here to, you know, add to the conversation or anything like that. As you can see, they're not talking about anything I'm talking about. Anyways, they're perps. They're perps, guys. Oh, my bad. My bad. What's the word I'm looking for? My wife just said I'm searching for the word here. Underestimated you. I underestimated you. Anna, I'm sorry. Yeah, they just creeping. They just creeping. Let them creep. Boost my algorithm. It's all good. Tarai says, I'm glad I accepted salvation before gangstalking related activity started because of the people that I've learned are involved. Many claim Christianity, and I would never serve their God based on their current example. Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of people who participating in my personal gang stalking are Christians, and they're very proud Christians, and they're devout, they go to church, the whole nine. It's only shocking if you don't understand narcissistic personality disorder. That's the only way that it's shocking. Once you understand it, you just kind of go, well, yeah, of course, of course. It brings some fun when the exorcist service being delivered. Well, it depends, if the perps come in here and say, weird stuff like, for example, I like your haircut. This is sort of a thing that they have been sensitizing for a long time. People that come in here will say, you look like Kevin Samuels. You look like Diddy. You look like, or whatever. They'll say something about my mustache or my haircut or something like that, just to kind of sensitize me to the fact that, when perps show up in the chat, this is what they talk about. And of course, eventually to throw your thought process up. Yeah, I mean to throw me off of my thought process, but also the ultimate goal, make no mistakes, the ultimate goal is for me to like lash out and crash out and get angry. Meanwhile, all they did was say nice haircut, you know? But I know what nice haircut means because I've been, sensitized to the whole process of the dog whistling, right? Which, somebody that comes in here and says nice haircut is basically saying I'm not one of your followers or anything like that. I'm a perp and I'm here. What are you gonna do about it, right? So they're expecting you to lash out. It's the same thing as, for example, when people, um, for example, stalked by the freaks or stalked by the feds. Lisa Legg. Lisa Legg gets followed physically a lot. She'll go to the gym and, they're there. She'll go to the gas station. Here they are. She'll go to subways. Here they are again. And they don't do anything to her. They don't say anything to her. They just show up wherever she goes. They show up where she's at. And the whole point is for her to eventually lose it and do something she shouldn't do, right? And then they'll be able to get her in trouble while keeping their hands clean, right? And a lot of these people, that's their goal, right? Of course, knowing that, what do? You just kind of make light of it. I mean, I personally think that it's good that they're using their tactics because it allows me to explain it as it's happening. But the only thing it does, in my opinion, is boost my algorithm, which I need, The only reason why I would block someone is if they say something disrespectful, or, for example, in the case of Barry, I don't remember what he said, but it's just his username is just, that's outrageous. Get out. But when it comes to Miss Tory or what's his name, Melville, I mean, they haven't said anything disrespectful. So yeah, C-State noticed it. He noticed it already. uh, C-State said Miss Tory is DARVO now already. So I just put out a video called DARVO Deep Dive, which is really funny because it's not a deep dive at all. It's just like a short explanation of like four minutes. But the whole goal of DARVO is to first they attack, right? They attack you, but they attack you in a way usually that holds plausible deniability. So for example, they'll show up and say something like, nice mustache, your hairline is crooked, there's a spider on the wall behind you, or all the things that they've been saying that they're sensitizing to and that they're hoping I will react to and I will lash out at eventually, so that they can then DARVO, which is deny, deny that they did anything. Like for example, in this case, Miss Tori said, "What are you in a war against?" I said, "Nothing. I'm not in a war against anything, right?" And then she said, "Your name is the war against," as if the fact that my name is the war against narcissism means that I'm actually going to war. Um, you know, it's a username, right? Um, and then when I accused her of participating in gangstalking, she said, "I just got here. I will like your video even though you just judged me," right? It's deny, attack. So now she's attacking me. She's basically saying that, oh, you called me, like you call me, you're judging me, right? So it's not that it's the issue is not that she showed up and she's perping in the chat. The issue is that I called her out on it, and she's basically denying it. She's saying, I didn't do that. You're attacking me now, right? And then DARVO, reverse victim of offender. So she's basically making it seem like she's not the offender. I'm the offender. And now she's putting me in a position, or she's attempting to put me in a position where I'm the one that has to defend himself, right? And if you fall for that, right, where they start to accuse you of attacking them after they've attacked you and denied it, right? If you fall for that, where you start to defend yourself, it doesn't matter that you weren't the offender, because now you're defending yourself. You look like the offender, because if you weren't the offender, why are you defending yourself, right? This is the game, right? It's funny when a child does it. It's evil when an adult does it, because they know what they're doing, you know. And I'm not too worried. Uh, you know, Once again, it just boosts my algorithm, and I used to block everyone who would pull up in the chats or in the comment section perping. But now I'm just like, as long as you're not doing anything really crazy, you're not saying anything really crazy, you're not using profanity, or talking about using words that are prohibited or anything of that nature, then doesn't matter. You're going to hell. It's all good. Um, yeah, your cozy has never been here before. Anna has a good eye. Uh, Lorna, hey, how's it going? We are all super touchy after years of this, though, I must say. Well, I wouldn't say that I'm touchy about it. I mean, I've been going through this for about 19 years. I'm not touchy about it. I just notice it. To tell you the truth, I mean, I hate to sound rude, but I find them really pathetic. I find them pathetic. I don't think I'm being too mean when I say this. Participating in this is really pathetic. When in the 19 years did you become comfortable and bold? 5 months ago. Literally. Maybe less. Maybe less. I started on the road to become comfortable and bold 5 months ago. So definitely less. Super aware. Yes, yes, Lorna, super aware. I'm definitely extremely aware of things that are happening around, what I like to do is I like to play dumb. Like there's a lot of people who are participating in my gang stalking that have no idea that I know. They have no clue. And I'll probably never tell them. And perhaps they'll only find out once I decide that I no longer want to have any communication whatsoever with them. But there's a lot of people who are participating in that stuff that I'm just like, you're not worth anything. You're not worth any effort. Hey, you got it, right? It's all good. But I will say that what has helped me with being comfortable and bold is the content being put out on YouTube. Um, all these people talking about what they've been going through. When I started to realize, oh, this has nothing to do with me. This is not about me. This is about them. This is who they are. That's when I really started to change my mindset of because this was very effective back in the day for a very long time because it was devastating to me to have so many people disapprove of me as a person. So many people believe that I deserve this. That was devastating to me. But once I realized, like, oh no, they're not doing this because they think I deserve it. They're doing this because they're awful people. They always have been. They just never had the opportunity to show me that they're awful people. But here it is. So now that I view these people for who they are and for what they are, which is, you know, demonic people, I just think to myself, well, what you think doesn't matter. What you think will never matter. There's this one video I did recently where I said, this was the last thing I said in that video was, I would never allow someone's opinion of me to matter when I think they're going to hell. How could your opinion possibly matter to me when I think you are literally going to hell? So that's when I started to change my mindset. It took many years, but the content on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok definitely helped. It definitely helped. People coming out with their stories and everything. It definitely helped a lot. Yeah. Give me just one second. My puppy's growling. I just want to see what's going on. What are you growling at? Nothing? Okay. Sorry about that. So, yeah. By things, I mean the gang stalking. So sorry you're going through that. I hope things end soon for you too. Don't give up and keep faith and love in God. Amen. Amen. They're controlled by the devil. I go through it too. They legit bow to the system and attack people who won't bow. Keep faith in Jesus. They fall soon. Amen. Jada Jones. Amen. Amen. You know, we're waiting for Trump's decision on FISA 702. Should be in a couple of days, actually. It should be next week. We'll see. We'll see. um, Heidi put out a call for us all to video our stories and upload tomorrow if anyone is interested. Yeah, I saw that. I hyped the video 3 times. I shared it. I shared it with Ali. I shared it. I look forward to that. I look forward to hearing people share their story that hopefully they will. You know, I've been saying I was gonna do that and I will, but I'm so happy that she's doing it. She's great. Heidi is really great. Someone should be attending a deliverance service. She walked determined towards me and I. Who walked determined towards you and I? You. What? I'm sorry. I don't understand. What are you saying, Susie Bear? It's kind of funny, I don't mean to give Miss Tori more attention, but I'm sure she loves it. But it's kind of funny because, you know, Miss Tori says I'm against narcissism, and then now she's saying kindness is such a rare thing these days. Excuse me for offending you, right? And then if you look at the comments that she posted earlier, is I was just reading your name and it says the war against at the top of the page. And then I said, I explained what she was doing. She's basically saying things that the perps are basically saying things to try to make me lash out. And then she wrote, and you lashed out, LOL, right? But now she's all about kindness and, why are you so mean? Kindness is such a very funny. It's very funny. Uh, it's so hard for me to video and try to tell it all serious, mad respect for you all. Thank you very much. I mean, it is definitely hard, but if I can give you any tips, I would say write it down. You know, you don't see me read a text, but a lot of the videos I put out at first were all a written text. Everything was written down. And then I would just read sentence after sentence, and I would read it. I would say a sentence, stop recording, read the sentence, and go, okay, that's what I'm going to say. And then I would say it again, right? So, but before I would start recording, I knew exactly what I was going to say because I had written everything down. So I would definitely say that writing down helps a lot. And, just structuring everything, like what happened first? What are we going to talk about? Introduce yourself. What are you here to say? What are you here to talk about? What is important that we should know about, your story? What is the goal of you sharing this? Things of that nature. Lorna, I can't wait. I'm just gonna make sure I'm following you. Hold on. I can't wait to see your testimony. Can I go to your page? Okay, there we go. Go to channel. Lorna. Lorna, are you gonna post on YouTube? Because I'm gonna wait for that. I want to see that. Awesome. Awesome. Well, I just subscribed to your page. I await that. I think I'm your only subscriber. I await your message. I want to see it. I want to see it. Heidi also shared instructions on how to upload. I didn't see her full video, but I did watch the first, I want to say first 30 or 45 seconds of it, and I was just like, great, perfect. I'm 100% behind that message. And yeah, and the video was really hyped up because when I opened up my app, it was the first suggestion I saw on my recommended. So obviously, people are really behind her, and she's great. Heidi is great. There are two ladies that I really like their pages. Heidi and what's the other? The Seeker, Stephanie. Stephanie the Seeker. I like their pages. Can somebody tell me what the hell is Jean-Jacques Dessalines talking about? What a loser. Uh, Looking forward. Yeah, me too. I'm looking forward. I tried to self. Ooh, oof, but couldn't fully do it. Come on, get what I had taken out of 400 parts. Ay, ay, ay. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm really sorry to hear that. Tiari, you cannot let them win. You cannot let them win. And we need you. And think of it this way, right? Before before you take such drastic measures, you really have to think, what have you tried? Have you tried speaking up? Have you tried, you know, have you tried doing what it is that we are doing, right? Yeah, I don't want to minimize what you're going through. I can only imagine. I can only imagine. Um, I just really think that before we get to a point where I don't want you to think I'm judging you. I'm not, right? I'm not. This is hard. This is definitely a hard thing to I love that. Tiari, I love that. Tiari says starting a YouTube channel as well and doing and providing as much research as I can for myself and others. See, that's really I love that. I love that. God bless you. God bless you. That's really what I what I fall upon is, you know what? This is happening. Nothing I can do about it. Nothing I can do about it. My family's turned on me. Nothing I can do about that. Things will never be the same again. Nothing I can do about that. I've lost friends. I've lost money. I've lost family. Nothing I can do about that. Here's what I can do. I can help others going through this. I can make sure that, you know, people who are going through this know and understand you're not alone. This will not last forever. Sersetsun did not last forever. It ended at some point. This will not last forever. Whoever empires fall, whoever is behind this will fall. The people behind this will fall. So stay strong. And God bless you for choosing to use your pain to help people rather than doing what perps do, which is use their pain and their awful situations to justify what it is that they do. These people are going to hell. When you choose to use your pain and use it for a divine purpose, you know where you're going after this, and nothing can stop you. God bless you. God bless you. Susie says she looks like she trims her toenails with her teeth. What? Let me see. Let me see. What does she look like? This is a picture of the crow. It's actually really funny. Her or his, I don't know who it is, but the username that wait, who are you talking about, Susie Bear? I mean, I'm talking about the account Jean-Jacques Dessalines. Jean-Jacques Dessalines is actually a Haitian revolutionary. After Haiti was freed, Jean-Jacques Dessalines was the first man to be in power. So yeah, I'm just gonna quiet Jean-Jacques real quick because you provide nothing to the conversation but noise. Be gone. I've noticed it's been happening since we were kids. They only choose to reveal themselves at a certain time. I knew some was up since young. When I saw all the The all-seeing eye, the Lord reveals it to us young. Jada Jones, can you speak more on what you've noticed when you were young? What is it that you noticed? Because I had some things happen to me when I was a young kid that made me like synchronicities, coincidences, weird coincidences that just kept happening. And I was just like, well, this is weird. But I hate talking about them because I feel like I feel foolish talking about them. I'm not gonna lie. And obviously, I'm not a person that feels foolish very easily or that cares to look foolish. But I do feel foolish when I talk about the things that I noticed when I was a young kid that make me feel like, "Hmm, this is strange. Was that just me that noticed these things? Because everyone should have noticed it, but it feels like it was just me. I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. They always done stuff basically saying things or sins that I've done from a random person or just certain situation that shows they was watching. Mm, yeah. Peace and blessings, we don't move in fear. Creeps that do this, I make fun of them. Tiara says she was in a gate program. You know, I remember doing the gate program test, but I don't remember anything. I mean, I vaguely remember doing it. I don't remember all of it, but I don't remember anything past, you know, I don't remember being accepted in the gate program or anything like that. I have no memory of the gate program past the auditory test and the cards. That's all I remember. The auditory test and the cards. I'm so sorry to hear that, Tiari. I'm sorry. Yeah, there's a lot of things I blank. You know, when I was a kid, somebody injured me. I'll show you real quick. Sorry. I'll show you real quick. Somebody injured me. I don't know if you can see. Can you see the scar, the stitches here? Do you see them? I have stitches here. When I was a kid, somebody sliced my wrist open. And I'm not going to say who it was, but I do know who it was. And somebody sliced my wrist open. And I remember waking up that morning. I remember going to the living room, uh, playing my SNES. Everybody was asleep at the time. It was at an age where my parents were still together, but my mother was in her native country of Haiti. So my dad was babysitting, babysitting. My dad was watching his kids. We were only with my dad, and I remember waking up in the morning, going to play SNES. I remember seeing a vase in the room, like a blue vase that holds flowers, but there was nothing in it. Next thing I know, I have like completely blacked out what happened. Next thing I know, the vase is broken. I'm playing my video game still. The vase is broken on the ground, and my sister comes in the room and screams, points at me because gushing just all over. And of course, my dad woke up and he brought me to the hospital, stitches. That was it. But yeah, there's a lot of traumatic things happen to children, but they completely black it out. I can't tell you for the life of me what happened. I have no memory of it. I have memories of before, I have memories of after, everything during, gone, completely gone. I mean, I can tell you what it smelled like on that day. I can tell you where I lived. I can tell you what the weather was like on that day. I remember that day very vividly. I have no memory of how it happened, but I know who did it. Anyways, Yeah, it was pretty bad. I got cut open real bad. My story's still talking. For me personally, they revealed themselves openly once I became an adult. Do you care to share how they revealed themselves to you? They gave my mom fluoride to feed me for a while, 2 tablets a month. Wow, your mom's a piece of work. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My apologies. By directly showing me they were involved, openly saying exactly what I say in my home. One time I said specifically, I hate the color yellow, and my entire Snapchat log of people I was speaking to changed their stuff to yellow coloring, or saying they knew specific things they knew would trigger me, only I would know. Or having YouTuber or other famous people say things I've only said in my home. I have a panda tattoo, and they legit had someone wear a panda mask in their video saying they cracked the code. Yeah, directed conversation is by far, by far, the favorite tactic that gang stalkers, perps, handlers like to use, because it really does hold plausible deniability, because you can't prove I'm spying on you. You can't prove that. You're accusing me of saying something that you said yesterday. You're accusing me of making reference to or allusions to things you did yesterday. How would I know that? Because I'm spying on you? Prove it. You know, it holds plausible deniability, and it's very effective in letting you know that they know that you know, but you can't tell anyone. So it's all about subtle abuse of the victim. Unfortunately, it's very effective, especially if the victim is um, isolated and believes that they're the only person on the planet that this is happening to, right? It's truly evil. It's truly evil. I mean, the people who participate in this are absolute demons. You know, I I tend to give the benefit of the doubt to people, and I often say, and my wife hates when I say this, you have to forgive them. They don't understand what they're doing. They're playing a small role into this big operation, but they don't understand how big this is. They don't understand how hurtful they are, things of that nature. I often say things like that, and my wife hates it. She's just like, these people are adults. They know what they're doing. Stop giving them so much grace. They don't deserve it. But the truth is, I mean, I will I will hurt anyone who tells her I said this, but she's right. She's right. They know what they're doing. And one thing my wife has told me that really made me realize that they know what they're doing is, she asked me, "Would you ever participate in something like that? If I gave you money to go have a chat with your neighbor and just mention this sentence during the conversation, would you do that?" I'm just like, "No, I never would." And she's just like, then what are you confused about? You know? Hold on, just 1 second. It's all right. Easy. Sorry about that. Our voice is stronger together than alone. You're not alone, even in feeling alone. That's right. That's right. The isolation of it all is what makes this whole tactic so effective. It's because people who are going through this feel like they're the only ones going through it. It's just me, and if you're a person who cares about what other people think about you, like I was, this is devastating. Truly, this is devastating to you. I mean, I was devastated. Tell you that much. I was devastated for a long time. I just felt like, wow, everyone hates me. Everyone hates me. I'm being spied on. They're having a look into my life, into my everyday life at all times, 24/7, and the conclusion that they've come to is we hate this guy, to the point that we're willing to bully him in an organized, synchronized, covert fashion so that only he will know. That's how I felt. I didn't understand this program. I just thought I'm being spied on by people all around me. And the conclusion they've come to is screw this guy. Let's go after him. I thought that was what was going on, which it is. However, I didn't understand the extent of what this was. I didn't understand that, oh, no, no, no. They're not doing this because they hate me. You know? They're doing this because that's who they are. That's part of who they are. That's what they're comfortable with. Monitoring spirits, torturing people's souls. That's what they're into. It all makes sense now, which is why I went from being devastated and being at really low points in my life where I thought of the same thing that Tiara was talking about. I've been there, long, long, long ago. I've been there, probably like 14 years ago. But nowadays, I'm just like, I'm not the problem. I'm not the problem. So, hey, is VJ in here? I don't see him. Where, where do you see VJ that you're responding to him? I don't see VJ. What's going on? R&M, they read my mind, man. It was hell trying to get settled down. It's torment. They let me know without shadow of doubt. I think of pink flower. I go outside next day and along the way. Guess what's laying on sidewalk? Take pink flower, man. They've done some effed up things. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's very meticulous, petty stuff that they will do. When I reduce my weight and physically transform myself, I will see a lot of people acting out. They don't like when you better your life, that's for sure. Oh, I missed a lot of comments. It all brings glory to Jesus. Amen, Jada. Amen. That's how you know it's spiritual warfare. It became overt and scary once I gave my life to Jesus as well. I'm not gonna lie, when I gave my life to Jesus, that's when it stopped becoming scary. It was scary for 18 years. For 18 years, it was scary. When I brought it to the court of the Lord, he got it. It's all good. No matter what happens, he got it. She says, I used to think I was the only one as well. That's really the devastating part, is when you think it's only happening to you. Can you imagine? Can you imagine for a second? Well, all of you can imagine, but imagine for a second that in your head you're thinking you're being spied on. Everyone in your surroundings, everyone at your job, all your neighbors have joined in on spying on you. And no one is coming to tell you. One, no one is coming to tell you. No one is defending you. Everybody has joined together. They've formed friendships over their common hatred of you. People at your job who never spoke to each other before are now speaking to each other because they hate you. They're congregating, talking about how they're going to abuse you at your job. Your job that had been going really well for 3 years. All of a sudden, everybody in there hates your guts every day. And they play this game of hot and cold. One day they're super mean. They're doing directed conversations, you know, heavy workplace mobbing. The next day, everyone's nice. Everyone's leaving you alone. Everyone's kind, gentle, making jokes even. Friendly. The next day, right back. Everyone is mean to you. Directed conversation. And they're doing that over and over every day for like an entire year. You quit your job, you get a new job for 2 weeks, everything is great. Boom. Everyone has joined in. They're spying on you. All of them. People you just met that were nice to you. People who were not talking to each other during the first 2 weeks that you were at your job. Now they're talking to each other. You go to lunch break, you sit down, you're all alone, they're with each other and they're staring at you like this. Every day. You decide you don't want to eat in the lunchroom anymore. You want to eat in your car. They take their legs, walk to your car to give you dirty looks. Grown adults. Mind you, imagine you're 25. These people are 50 and up. They've made it their missions to mess with you every day. You've never heard of this before. You've never heard anyone speak of an experience like this before. Everywhere you go, everyone hates you. And then your family starts doing it. I mean, it's enough to, at the very least, cause depression. At the very least. You know, I saw a video where a woman said that she was a victim of Jeffrey. And she said that the testimony of other women who were victims of Jeffrey saved her life. To find out that she was not alone saved her life, because for many years, she knew, I mean, of course, she's aware of her experience, but she had no idea who this man was. And then here he is on TV. well, not on TV because they don't talk about him on TV, but here he is in, on social media, and there are people coming out telling their stories about what happened. And she finally realized, I'm not alone. This had nothing to do with me. This is what he does. And I just saw this like a couple of hours ago. And she said, this saved my life to know that I'm not alone, that this abuse I went through had nothing to do with me. Saved my life. These are the facts when it comes to my situation as well. Finding out, you know, the first instance of this that I found out was Lisa Legg that was, talking about being followed by federal agents, what she believed to be federal agents. And then I heard that term, gangstalking, and I thought, that sounds a lot like what I'm going through. Gangstalking. I mean, I'm being stalked. They're ganging up. Let me Google that. I put it in Google and rabbit hole. Me. Saved my life. Truly, truly it did. It saved my life to find out not only am I not alone, this had nothing to do with me. These people don't hate me because they got a window into my life and disapprove of me. These people got a window into my life and were comfortable with that because that's who they are. They lack morals. And they hate me not because of me. They hate me because they hate themselves. And they're looking for any target to project that self-hatred so that they can fight it, so that they won't have to look inwards because that hurts. That's scary. Cowards. What do I care what you think of me if you're unable to even look at yourself and see the flaws within yourself? Admit to yourself that you're doing something wrong. It doesn't matter what excuse you may have to participate in this activity against me, against anyone. You're a coward. You are the worst kind of person there is on this planet. That you would participate in something like this. How could you possibly believe that I would care anything in any way what you think about anyone, especially me? So, can you believe I got media stalked? I heard someone else had it done to them. Media stalked? What's that? What's that, Susie Bear? My mom keeps telling me a story about someone who got isolated from family, led to organ trafficking. Damn. Your family sounds evil. Hey, Smiley, your human is back. Talk like a person. I'm warning you now. I hope you're doing good. For me, when I used to smoke every day, and the Lord delivered me from a 5-year addiction, and I got saved and gave my life to Christ and stopped false idols when it went into a full effect. From a 5-year. When was that, Jada Jones? When was that? Thank you, Small. You're human. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. When was that, Jada Jones? For a lot of people, it got worse in 2020. For a lot of people, it got a lot worse in 2020. Some people can't resist a pile-on. Yeah, they just can't resist it. They have so much self-hatred, inner turmoil that they can't deal with when they are when they're given an opportunity to project all of these negative feelings on someone and bash them for it, they can't resist it. They absolutely cannot resist it. Just like I thought, Jada Jones, 2020, that's when he got really bad for a lot of people. A lot of people say, you know, I only started noticing it around 2020. You know, for myself, it started 19 years ago. It got really bad, maybe I want to say 7 years into it, and then it turned down for about 3 years, and maybe a bit more. But I would definitely say that in 2019, at the end of 2019, when I broke up a 13-year relationship with a toxic woman, that's when it shot right back up, and it got way worse than what it was before, which it was bad. It was really bad. But at the point of 2020, that's when they went, we're gonna go for his family. We're gonna destroy his family relationships, you know. Now, you know, my family is really big. We have events, there's group chats, um, you know, I've been cut out of all of that because the person who usually organizes them is part of my gang stalking. So I remember he was organizing my sister's birthday party, and I wasn't invited for my sister's 40th birthday party. And in the sort of description of the event, he was saying, you know, if you're invited here, you're part of the trusted group of insert my sister's name here, and you should feel special. Anyone who's excluded is whatever, something of that nature. Just like kind of like a little, you know, a little at whoever was not invited. And I remember seeing it, and I remember thinking to myself, you know, what a loser. What a loser. You know, and the excuse I gave him was he's probably just hurt because of what I did to him, because I did gossip about him, because he was I have this cousin who we all thought was my uncle until he turned 18, when my other cousin, who's the one I was talking about, told him that, hey, you're adopted, man. These are not your parents, they're your grandparents. Your parents are gone. They adopted you when you were a baby because your father passed away. You see that picture of the man, like their son who passed away, that's hanging on the wall? That's your dad. And he told him. And I gossiped about him. You know, I said something like he has a big mouth, which which I don't even think that. I don't know why I said that, to be honest with you. I don't even think that. I really liked him, honestly. We were close, very close. But I said it. I gossiped about him, which I feel really bad about. But when he did that, I just thought to myself like, oh well, I did gossip about him. I guess he's just hurt about what I said. And all I could think to myself was I would apologize to him if I hadn't already done so. I already apologized to him. He's still mad. What can I do at this point, you know? And every time I apologized to him, which I did more than once, every time I apologized to him, he would just completely gaslight me and deny, like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about, you know? So I sort of viewed it as, oh, he's hurt. I gossiped about him. It was wrong. That's my fault. That's my bad, you know? But after like 6 years of it, I'm just like, all right, it's no longer a me thing. This is you. This is a you issue, you know? And I don't fault him for what he did as far as telling my cousin that he was adopted. I really don't. I really don't. The truth matters. But as far as what he's doing to me, like what he's been participating in against me, I no longer fault myself, you know? You Because the way that I see it is I would never do that to him. I mean, he could do much worse to me. I still would never do that to him. I might not talk to him anymore. That's possible. This is a possibility. I could turn my back away from him. I tend to do that sometimes. When people backstab me or I feel like they're disrespecting me, I just go, you know what? You're dead to me. I never want to talk to you again. And I will never talk to you again. But what he's doing, the directed conversation, you know, all the other things that he did to me that I won't mention, I'm just like, that's you though. That's who you are. That has nothing to do with what I did to you. That's uncalled for. Especially considering that I apologize to you, man. You know, I recognize my wrongs. I apologize to you more than once, and you're still on this. It's because you want to. So that felt good getting this off my chest. Thanks for being here, guys. Everyone on earth has gossiped at some stage. No excuse for the situation you're in now. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I mean, I think there's no excuse for gossiping. It's just wrong. Don't do it. I just think that, the place he took it to is like, okay, you're being ridiculous now. This is not an appropriate response. And of course, you can't justify how someone responds, or you can't, judge someone. You can't really judge someone based on how they respond to you offending them. But in this case, gangstalking? Gangstalking. That is low, brother. Low. Even for you, that's low. And I say even for you not because he has a flawed character. I say even for you in a sense that, I did you wrong. I get it. I did you wrong. But even for you, that's too much, brother. So I just see it as that's who you are. That's your character. Because, there are some people, or at least there's one person, possibly, no, there's two people. There are two people that the people around me have tried to recruit into my gang stalking. And both of them did the same thing. You want to know what they did? They took every single message that they received from the people that tried to recruit them, from the people that threw dirt on my name. They took every single message, every audio message, every text message, and they sent them right up to me. That's what they did. The first lady, she sent me all the messages. She said, hey, these ladies are mad at you and they're talking about you and blah, blah. And I said, really? Who? And she said, hold on, let me send it to you. And she sent me everything. And then there was another lady who, God, this lady lives like 4 hours away from me. And she has a pet shop. And someone walked into her pet shop and saw her dog and commented on her dog. And she said, oh, I got it from this guy, me. And as soon as she said that, this person started to disparage me and speak on me. And my wife accused my wife of committing a crime, which she never would do. And she told me, but you don't have to worry about it. I kicked her out of my shop. She's no longer allowed. Right? And I'm like, you don't even understand. I don't know this person. I've never met her. You could put me in a room with her. I don't know who this person. I don't even think we've ever been in the same city. This person is talking to you about me and my wife, trying to recruit you into hating me. I don't know her. And that's when she was so confused. She was like, well, why would she do that if you don't know her? And then I explained to her gang stalking, and she's just like, you know. Yeah, I am lucky. I am very lucky that someone is giving me, I have two people so far that have given me info as far as what is being said about me behind my back. I know there's a lot of people that have been just acting weird and that have been distant towards me. And it's more than likely because they've been contacted and they've been told, oh, this person has an open investigation. They've either been contacted by people or by law enforcement officers saying this person has an open investigation on him, things of that nature. And these people have not turned their backs on me in the sense, well, they haven't turned on me in the sense that they're not abusing me, but they're no longer talking to me. They're just staying very distant from me. And we were close before. So I know that there are some people who have joined them. There are some people who are just like, I don't want any problems. You're on your own. And then there are some people who are just like, what is this? These people, what are these people doing? This is ridiculous. So when I look at people who join them, I just go, you don't really have an excuse. I don't care what, I did. I gossiped about you. So that makes it right to destroy my life, right? You're going to hell. Congratulations. Anyways. I was watching a show called Huckabee on Church Channel. He was governor, Mike Huckabee of Arkansas at one time. Well, they do this thing where they get weird stories in newspaper. Well, some mailman was stealing and he said the last name of the mailman, and he said it like with some contempt, my last name, and looked in the camera. And I had been talking about that recently. There's a guy that is a TI that made. Oh, that's strange. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I had something very similar happen to me, but a lot, often when I was younger. But I don't like talking about it because I just seem crazy. I just seem I hear myself speak and I'm just like, oh, don't say that. Don't say that. But I had similar things happen to me often when I was a kid. And I just felt like, is anyone hearing this? Or is it just me that's putting this together? Am I looking too deep into it? What is this? And it was just directed conversation. But I personally feel like, well, I'm looking too deep into that. That can't be. But it could though. And that's the crazy thing. It could. It could be. Because as much as I want to say, no, this is too far though. This is too much effort. All of it is too much effort. All of it. Even the things that, not just the things that I think were real, but the things that are actually real. That's too much effort. This is craziness. None of it makes sense. Now, I don't want to talk about it. I'll just say that it's something that is very similar to what you were just explaining. It's pretty much the exact same thing, but just different details. And it just happened over and over and over and over again for many years when I was a kid. I don't know what I'm supposed to tell without sounding crazy because all of this is crazy to a normal person. Yeah. Um, I try to stick to the possible. So when I say possible, it's the stuff that people we will hear and think, well, this is highly unlikely, but it's not impossible. And when I say impossible, I don't mean things that are actually impossible because what's impossible? What I mean is, for example, V2K in the mind of normies is impossible. Directed energy weapons in the minds of normies. Remote neural monitoring in the mind of normies, impossible. Spying, directed conversation, being followed, workplace mobbing, improbable, not impossible. So I try to stick to the possible improbabilities. I don't want to break their brains, you know what I mean? And it's also because I remember that feeling that I felt the first time that I heard about V2K. I was listening to Andrew McCready talk about his experience, and he was talking about directed conversation, which is something that I've dealt with a lot for a long time, decades, and 2 decades to be exact. And I was so happy. I felt like such a weight off of my shoulder because Lisa Legg, stalked by the feds, stalked by the freaks now in New Mexico, spoke of gang stalking. She spoke of people following her. She spoke of vandalism, things of that nature, but she never speaks of directed conversation. Though I'm sure she goes through it, she never really speaks of it. So when I researched gang stalking, and the first video that popped up after putting it into the search bar on YouTube was Andrew McCready talking about his experience and mentioning directed conversation and then explaining it, I felt this weight come off my shoulder like I'm not alone. This is no longer just me bearing this cross or, carrying this weight. I'm not alone. And he made it very clear in his video that this is happening all over to millions of people. And he said, I'm having conversations with people and they're saying the same things. We can't all be delusional. You cannot imagine how light I felt after I heard him say that for the first time. I could not believe it. I just like, I can breathe again, Which is why I run this page in the first place. It's to get the information out so that it really does save lives. I mean, I don't want to say, oh, I'm a lot, I'm just a dude, but it really does save lives to have like some random dude on the internet explain his crazy situation that he's been going through, and you're listening to that as a person who's also been going through it for maybe it's 5 years for you, maybe it's like only 6 years. It started in 2020, and not in 2007. But it saves lives. It really does. Lorna says, I bawled my eyes out when I found out others going through it just over 6 months ago. 6 months ago. Lorna, if you put out a video tomorrow after finding out about this 6 months ago, do you know how high in my, like, how high a level of self-esteem I will have for you? After you put your video out, I want an interview with you. For real. Because it took me 18 years and some change in order to say, you know what? Fuck it. Monday. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for that. I want to see it. But it took me 18 years and some change. I only started doing this 5 months ago. I started talking about gang stalking 5 months ago. I had been going through it for 18 years and like 6 months before I ever talked about it to anyone except my one cousin. Well, no, three of my cousins. And within those three cousins, two of them are now part of my gang stalking. Only one of them is not part of it, but he doesn't believe me. He's just like, stop talking about this. You sound crazy. I'm just like, all right, you'll see. I can't wait, Laura. I cannot wait. They dismiss and invalidate the victim. Yeah, yeah. I spoke to a psychiatrist about this once, long, long, long ago. And I was very disappointed and shocked because I thought to myself, a psychiatrist is a smart man. A psychiatrist has studied for a long time. So he must be a smart man. And I had high expectations of this interaction. And I waited a long time because I kept showing up to the mental, because I wasn't being held at the mental institute. I actually drove my car down there like 40 minutes every week to go talk to these people until they would allow me to see a psychiatrist. And when I saw a psychiatrist, he just listened to me for about 7 minutes, maybe 5 to 7 minutes, and then he just looked at me and said, "No." I said, "What?" He said, "No, no, what you're saying is impossible." I'm like, "Bitch, what?" He just he's like, "No, no, 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 what you're saying is impossible." I'm like, "Mm, no, it's not. It's happening." He's like, "No, people don't do that." I'm like, "Stalk? Spy on people?" He's like, "Yeah, you're not important enough for people to do that. People don't do that to regular people. That doesn't happen." And I was like, "No, but it is happening." He's like, "No, no, it's not happening." And I just was quiet for a second and I went, "Okay." And then he said, "Okay, so we're done." I said, "Yep." And he got up and left. That was it. I never went there again. I was just like, "Oh, okay." I was very anticlimactic, because I had been going. I mean, you have to understand, I had been going there every week for months before I was able to speak to psychiatrist. So I was expecting something, except something other than no, no, impossible. Like that's not happening. It's not happening to you. I was just like, what? So yeah. Hey Simon, how's it going, man? Long time no see. It started for me in 2018, but I didn't know it was gang stalking until 2022. Dang. How did you feel when you found out like it was happening to a bunch of people? Directed conversation example. I'm at home dancing to a song. Next day, a random person talks to me about that song and how they love dancing. Yeah, yeah, that's like a perfect example of directed conversation. A perfect example. I remember when my gang stalking started ramping back up. That was, I believe, in 2016 or 2015. My gang stalking started ramping like really, really. Um, it went from being just online to being at work. And I was watching a TV show. Well, I wasn't watching a TV show. My ex at the time was watching a TV show where there was this sort of contestant, or they were just doing home makeovers, right? And there was this little girl. Like this, there was this family, and in the family there was a little girl who suffered from cancer. And by the time they finished the home, unfortunately, she passed away. And I remember watching the show and thinking to myself, well, I mean, I was watching the show and I cried, right? And my ex didn't cry when she watched movies or sad stuff, but I was crying. And in order to not, I guess, in order to not look like uh, a Mary, let's put it this way, a Mary, uh, I just blurted out the words, "Well, this is so sad. Like, this is way too," I said, "Well, this is way too sad." And I got up and walked away because I didn't want my ex to see me crying. And then the next day I went to work, and this lady who was participating in my, she sat next to me at work, but she was participating in my workplace mobbing and my gang stalking. She said, "Did you watch the show yesterday, Extreme Home Makeover or something like that?" And I think that's actually the show. I think it's actually Extreme Home Makeover. And I said, "Yeah, I saw it." And she said, "Well, she just said exactly what I said. This is way too sad." And then she looked at me and she was like, "This is way too sad." Like this, right? And I was just like, "Yeah." And then she just kind of like smiled and she was like, and she went back to work and I was like, "The f was that?" And yeah, that's when it really confirmed it to me. Like, oh, I see what's happening. I see what's happening. So yeah, I felt the connection. Like I wasn't crazy. Yeah, yeah. I also felt the connection with Andrew. I mean, which is really fun now because we're friends on Facebook. So I talked to him, and I found out that we both really enjoy playing chess. The only difference is that he's really good at it and I'm not. But we have great conversations now, and I've watched his videos so many times, like on repeat, just to kind of give myself validation as to like I'm not crazy. Like I'm not crazy at all. That I always felt like, I mean, he didn't know me, but I felt like I knew him for sure, you know? But now it's like I do know him and he knows me. And last time I spoke to him, he asked me like, "Hey man, I just got my schedule for my job. I'm ready to do another interview. I would like to do another interview with you." And I'm like, "Hell yeah, dude. 100%. Whenever you're ready, just give me a shout." You know? So I'm really happy about that. I'm trying to connect with a bunch of people and do interviews with them and just kind of build relationships with them. All the people I've interviewed, every single person I've interviewed, I still talk to this day. You know, I think I talked to most of them today. So I'm really trying to like build a network with people who are speaking out. I get a lot of message from people who are not speaking out yet, and I respond to some of them, but I really want to focus on talking with people who are speaking out. Um, and I want people who are not speaking out yet to speak out, which is why I really admire Lorna's courage for what she's about to do on Monday. Um, yeah, it's important to network, just kind of bounce info around and like, what have you learned? What have you learned? What do you think is going on? What do you think is going on? Why do you think that's what's going on? Things of that nature. I will say that the person who's taught me the most so far as what's going on is Andrew McCready. I mean, that guy has like I don't think he knows it, but he has like a genius level intellect. He's a very smart guy. Yeah. Yeah. Street is the town building inspector at the local city hall. Guarantee he is on a first name basis with the deputy that came in the yard and gave us the what for. Andrew, who is he have a channel? It's Andrew McCready. His channel is Comrade Andrew, but Andrew McCready. Let me write it down. But he doesn't post anymore on his channel. And he has two channels. I don't know I can't remember the name of the other one right now, but he has two channels. I'm guessing it's because he lost his password. Um, but he's not really online like that. He's not really, he doesn't create content like that. He had this one channel where he put out like 4 or 5 videos, and then he made another channel where he put out 4 or 5 videos again, and he put these videos out long ago, long, long ago. I mean, how long ago was that? Comrade Andrew Comrade Andrew. I'll send you the. It's Comrade Andrew 8314. That's how you can find him. Comrade Andrew 8314. I don't know about the other channel. It's probably in my saved videos or in my playlists or something like that. But in this on this channel, he has 4 videos, and I'm not gonna lie, man. These videos saved my life. These videos really saved my life. So hopefully they help you as well. Can you start a network where TIs can meet a mate? I want a man be very nervous. It might be a gang stalker. That's a pretty um, that's a pretty fair fear to have. I always say dating is harder for men than it is for women in the like everyday life. But as far as TIs, the targeted individuals community, dating becomes much harder for women than it is for men because of the honeypots. And sending a man a honeypot, it's hard to find a woman who will honeypot. But a man who will do that, that's super easy. Like there's no downsides to it. It's like, wait, I can sleep with her and I get money to screw her over. Any sociopath will be like, yeah, all right, I'll do it. But it's hard to find like a sociopathic woman who will screw a guy over, but also sleep with him and pretend as if she likes him. So, um, I'm very sorry. Um, I will not be starting a dating network for TIs. That's not me. That's not. You got the wrong guy. Sorry. But I will say it's a legit fear to have. It's definitely legit. I found a targeted date marked on a shared calendar with person's family, and it was a day 5 sheriffs are at my door. Hmm. I vote for us forming a community for support and resistance. We won't have a choice. We won't have a choice. Exactly what your channel has done for some of us saved us. Well, I'm really glad to hear that. I'm really happy to hear that because that's why I made this page. You know, um, I'm not gonna lie to you. When I made this page, it was about narcissism, and it was to help people um, understand narcissistic personality disorder and narcissistic abuse, and give people the courage to get out of these narcissistic relationships, these abusive relationships. But um, when I started talking about, and it was to help people. When I started talking about gang stalking, though, it was not to help people. When I started talking about gang stalking, it was because I was like, I have to speak up. I have to speak up. When the first video I posted got 40,000 views, 2,000 comments, and I realized how big the community really is, that's when I thought somebody has to do something. And that's when I realized, oh crap, I think it's me. And all these people who wrote comments to me saying, "This is happening to me. This has been happening to me for years. Oh my God, I can't believe." You know, I have a pretty big following on YouTube, but I have a way bigger following on TikTok, which I hate because I don't like TikTok. But I have a way bigger following on TikTok, and you know, the difference between YouTube is like when I put out a video on YouTube, I'll get comments on it for a couple of days, maybe. But when I put out a video on TikTok, I can get comments on these videos for, I mean, there are some videos I put out last year that I'm still getting comments on. They're not about gang stalking though, but there are some videos I put out last year I'm still getting comments on, you know? Like as far as the content that I put out on TikTok, I get so much comments from people saying, I'm in Pittsburgh, this is happening to me. I'm in Bethlehem, this is happening to me. I'm in uh Mexico, Israel, Australia, and this is happening to me. You know, I can't believe it. Oh my God, I can't believe this is. I'm not the only person this is happening to. I mean, I get these messages regularly. You know, so when I saw the messages that I got from from the first video I posted, where I was just like, I'm gonna share my story. I'm going to, because lies are being spread. Whoever's looking for the truth can't find it. I'm gonna put it out. I'm gonna I'm just going to let a record of it be there. But when I saw all the comments and the interactions, I was just like, uh, people need this. People need this. And I'm not saying that, you know, people like Stephanie and Heidi are not doing a great job, because they really are. You know, I follow both these pages. Um, I just feel like the the solution to ending this program is getting everyone to speak up. So I feel like I have to do my part. I just have to. And I hope soon I won't have to do this anymore. I I really hope I won't have to make videos about this anymore, because this will be over. Before I go on any other, I'm still trying to crawl out of this hellhole created by these deranged people. England, Ireland, France. Yeah, I'm talking to a guy in France right now. I want to do an interview with him, and he wants to do an interview with me as well. He said, like, give me a few months to kind of get my courage together. And however, the interview is going to be in French, so you guys are going to hate that. Sorry, sorry. He doesn't speak English, so the interview will be in French. Hopefully, we can do it, you know, soon. I would really like to get an interview with him, because a lot of my friends don't speak English. So when I try to explain to them what's happening, and I try to show them videos, they're just like, yeah, but I don't know what these people are saying, you know? So if I can get an interview with him, then it would be a good start to get the info out to French speaking people. Because as far as content about gang stalking for French people, there is not a lot. It's very limited. Thank you, Tiare. I'm grateful for you guys as well, Lorna as well. Thank you very much. I'm grateful you guys are here. You know, I need the sense of community as much as you guys do. Trust me. This is a fair exchange. You know, you guys, as much as you think I'm here for you guys are here for me as well. You know, I need the validation. I need the constant reminder that I'm not alone, because this is a very isolating situation. So, thank you as well. I'm very grateful for you guys as well. Modern day peeping Tom on steroids. Yeah. We need to talk about this until our last breath. We survivors, whether it stops or they keep on, we are survivors. That's right. For the right conditions, I'm ready to walk in any court to end these programs. I don't care what the conditions are. I'm ready to walk in any court at any time to end this program. I would like to ask if you think if this program will end, it will end worldwide, or each country has its own gangstalking program. I don't know. I think I think the U.S. government is behind this. That's what I think, and I'm right. So I think I think the issue with this program is that people are confused. They think that this is illegal, but it's not. It's not illegal. What they're doing is not illegal. The FISA Act was voted on. There's a loophole in the FISA Act that makes it so American citizens and people who live in America can also be included in this, but it's not illegal. Slavery wasn't illegal when it was happening. It was still wasn't illegal. The law, the FISA Act makes this legal, which means that, which explains why it is plausible that the US government is behind this. I think that there are certain actors in, well, not actors like movie actors, but like actors within certain countries that collaborate with the US intelligence agencies that are running this program. But I do think the culprits of this program, the people behind this, it's the US. It's messed up. What's illegal is taking my mail suppression of information and access to information. Ape Hands Tay, if you are on a DT watch list, taking your mail is not illegal. If you're on a DT watch list, spying on you is not illegal. If you're on a DT watch list, sabotaging your life is not illegal. A domestic T. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? If you're on a DT watch list, nothing they do to you is illegal. Nothing. Nothing? Nothing. This program, though it is wrong, if you're on a DT watch list, it is not illegal. The not illegal, but the wrong part about this is that you are on a DT watch list when you don't belong there. But being on a DT watch list, it you're fair game for warrantless seizures and searches and um, you know, that means being spied on. That means intercepting your mail. Everything is, you know, fair game if you're on the list. At this point, it's really up to you to prove that you don't belong on the list. The only issue is they're not going to tell you you're on the list. They will never tell you you're on the list. They'll never tell you you were on the list. You don't have access to that information. that's illegal. But yeah, of course I've heard of. Sorry. Death by a Thousand Cuts. Gangstalking is exactly that. The Canadian government is complicit with the US operating these programs on Canadian soil. Yes, MK Ultra was a CIA operation. It took place here. The Canadian government was not only aware of it, they were complicit in it, and they funded it with our tax dollars. So, yes, they are complicit in these programs, in this program of gang stalking. And it's not even the first time that they do this. Far from it, actually. Stalking you outside isn't illegal. See, stay. It's not illegal to follow you while you're out in public. Not illegal. I can follow you all day if I want to. Not illegal. Clean up the house. That's a start. But yeah, following you is not illegal. It's not illegal for me to show up where you are. It's not a crime. And as a matter of fact, if you're on the DT watch list, you don't really have rights. You're on the watch list. Your rights are null and void. All of your rights are suggestions at this point. Yeah, but no judge is going to grant you a restraining order on someone who's following you and who hasn't, like, who you cannot prove has done anything to you. And really, the truth is, C-Stay, I don't mean to upset you here, but the truth is, you go to a judge. We don't move in fear. Just ask a question that I want to get into. But the truth is, you go to a judge, they're spying on you. They're gonna go to that judge. They're gonna tell him about the situation. I mean, the judge who you remember Edward Snowden, right? The judge who was ruling in his case was contacted and told, "Hey, do not give this man leniency. Just do what we tell you." He agreed. He did what they told him. This is documented. Secret intelligence agencies contacted the judge and told him, "This is a special case. Do not prosecute as a normal case. Just do what we tell you." And he did. We Don't Move in Fear said, "What if you have no criminal background?" Most of us don't have a criminal background. It doesn't matter that you don't have a criminal background. It doesn't matter. It only matters if you can prove that you are on the list. If you can prove that you're on the list and you can prove that you don't belong on the list, then at that point, you have a case. But they'll never tell you you're on the list. They'll never show you the list. As a matter of fact, they'll lie. They'll say, "You're not on the list. We're not looking for you. We're not looking at you. It's not us." If it goes too far, they'll just lie. But it doesn't matter that you have a criminal record or not. You're on the list. Immoral illegal. Lots of immoral things are illegal. All they do is lie. Yep. With the tech today, it's easy for a small scale group of people to move and act like a three-letter agency back in the day. Yes. Edward Snowden is a hero. He is. It seems after a certain amount of time of being on a watch list and you do nothing wrong, but they have documentation of what is being done to you. Well, you have to understand that you're not on a watch list because you belong there. You're not on a watch list because you did anything. You're on a watch list because they need numbers. They need names. They need a justification as to why you're on a watch list. Because it's all about inflating the numbers in order to funnel tax dollars their way. The FBI gets a lot of funding for anti-T-ism. If they show a big list of people being watched, they get more funding. It's about money. There you go, Anna. Anna's smart. I like Anna. Guess I always wanted to be a cop, if I'm honest. A lot of people got a job because of me. Yep. And these people who have a job because of you, they want you to not have a job. I did work with FBI and CIA on many projects, but police said they never hire me. Yeah, that is not an organization I would ever recommend working for or with. Man, I've been here for 2 hours. I gotta get off soon. All right, guys. I'm just gonna read the last few comments and I'll get out of here. I hope you guys have a great night. Yeah. Okay. I'm up. I'm up to date. Okay. I'm up to date. I'm sorry to hear that, Ape Hands Tay. Um, I I haven't worked a job in over 10 years. I'm self-employed. I would suggest looking into that. It's harder to take self-employment away from you. It's not impossible, but it is harder. Lorna says she has not met an honest cop yet. Yeah, me neither. Me neither. I mean, I don't want to make it seem like everybody who's a cop is a bad person. I just think that saying a good cop is like for me to say that a cop is good is like a cow saying that a butcher is nice. And on that note, I'm gonna leave you. So, as I always say, you deserve grace, you deserve mercy. Love yourself first, always. Thank you for being here, guys. I hope you enjoyed the interview with Ali. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's in my lives. And I also put out a video called DARVO Deep Dive. We were very lucky to have a perp in the chat in the form of Miss Tori, who gave us an example of a great example actually of DARVO. You know, so We thank our friends, we thank our enemies, and I hope you all have a really great night. I hope you all have a really great weekend. Spend it with the ones you love, and if you can't spend it with the ones you love, love yourself. All right. I love you guys. Take care.